So what Bitcoin does is Bitcoin essentially says that money and speech are the same thing. And let me give you an example. A Swiss bank account, if I know the number and I know the password to that, that is money. That is as good as money, and I can cross borders with it. So they obviously can't stop you from crossing the border with money if you have a bank account somewhere remotely. Think of Bitcoin as a bank account in the cloud, and it's completely decentralized. Not the Swiss government, not the American government. It's all the participants in the network enforce it. And so the ledger, the distributed database, it's called the blockchain, is held in the cloud by all the parties involved. It can't be broken by any of them. It's cryptographically too strong. You would have to compromise the entire network to take over Bitcoin. Not even the NSA can do it. And the value of the Bitcoin is a bounty on the Bitcoin. So if the value of all the Bitcoin in the world today is $5 billion, that's a $5 billion bounty. Any hacker who can go break that can collect a lot of that money, but they can't. So it shows you how strong it is. Even the NSA couldn't break the blockchain today. So I don't think so. But because of that, that means that Bitcoin is protected. The value is protected. The money is protected. But notice what I said at the beginning. Money is speech. That means the speech is protected. That means I can publish things into Bitcoin that no one can take away. I can publish WikiLeaks, for example, tracts of information into there that are irrevocable. I can
Explain that. Slow down.
The Bitcoin blockchain is a giant database. That database is a $5 billion bounty on it, which is the value of all the Bitcoin.
So that's basically a $5 billion reward.
For breaking...
Hack me.
Correct.
And you've got $5 billion.
Correct. Or something close to it. You may not get it all out,
sure.
and an approximation that's a reasonable assumption.
I'll take $500 million.
Sure. So that's the bounty that protects the blockchain. And the blockchain is a distributed database. And with an infinitesimal amount of Bitcoin, I can write anything into that database. And I think long-term, Bitcoin is a currency of the internet. So even if humans don't use it, routers will use it. Web browsers will use it. Web servers will use it. Because a web browser or web server...
Let me bring this to real world.
Machines will use it.
Sony would use this for all of the contracts to be able to stop what happened to them.
Sony would use Bitcoin-grade encryption,
right.
So Bitcoin advances encryption. You and I may use Bitcoin for a transaction to lock our contract or our money into the cloud. Someone in China may use it for speech. They might use it to get a message out to the rest of the world anonymously in a way that it cannot be pulled back. So China may censor YouTube, China may censor Twitter, they won't be able to censor Bitcoin. There's no central authority. There's no one you can go to and say, we're going to turn Bitcoin off. Turning Bitcoin off is the same as turning the internet off. So the moment the internet became truly pervasive, it was inevitable that speech would become pervasive.
Why are there such